Hello, my name is Julio Diaz. Welcome to Guitar Memories. Today, I have the pleasure to introduce you an amazing guitarist, a music producer, Jim Wright. How's it going, Jim?
Hey, how are you, sir? Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate that. I'm Jim Wright, and we are at Avalon Rehearsal and Recording in Fort Worth, Texas. As you can see, we are a recording studio. We're a photography studio. We shoot videos here. We wash dogs here, and no, we don't really wash dogs. But anyway, recording studio, video studio. We also have 41 monthly rehearsal rooms. We also do hourly rehearsal rooms. I am the guitarist for Gibson Cemetery currently and have been since the early 90s. I think we've established that we've been in this band together for 37 years now. And I've collected some guitars over the years, and I think we're here to talk mostly about guitars, but I wanted to plug my business, Avalon Rehearsal and Recording, and my band, Gibson Cemetery. But we're going to talk about some guitars today, man, and I think I've got some interesting ones.
Oh, nice. I'm excited to listen your story, to look at you playing guitar, just rocking, and before we start, can you talk a little bit about the equipment we will use on this episode?
Now, I've got a couple of these. This is called a Splon. Now, picture a Marshall amp, but this is built by a guy in Dallas, North Carolina named Scott Splon. So this amp has EL34s in it, and this is a 50-watt version. I actually have a 100-watt version in my closet, but I just rolled this over here because the whole time we were doing sound check, this guy's like, hey, it's too loud, man. It's really too loud. So we're going to do the 50-watt version for today. And this cab's pretty random. I don't even remember what speakers are in it. I think it's a Ross cab, and a buddy of mine brought some random Celestians that I put in there. So speakers are who knows what. Mystery speakers. But running through a Splon tube amp, and I've got a few guitars I'm going to show you. I'm going to kind of go chronologically, like from the oldest guitar that I still have. I've been playing guitar since probably 1984, I guess. But this guitar here my wife got for me back in, I'm going to say around 2000. She may correct me on this. But this is a BC Rich Warlock. And this thing has been to hell and back with me. So it started out, it came out of Guitar Center. It was on sale for Christmas. It was like $175. Dirt cheap. It's an Indonesian guitar. So my wife gets this for me for Christmas. And, it's just a cheap guitar, but it looks really cool. It looks just like the Motley Crue Shout at the Devil album. Now, I always wanted a white Warlock, right? So years later, I talked to a local guitar tech named Mark Saganero. I was like, hey, is there any way to drill out the wood to be able to put a floating tremolo in here? It's like a Floyd Rose tremolo. Okay, so, Mark Saganero made that happen. Did excellent work. He did the routing on the back and on the front. And, is this a guitar I played around with? But then I was running sound at a club called Monte Carlo's back around 2003, I guess. And a buddy of mine goes, hey, Jim, we're putting together a Motley Crue tribute band, and you're going to be the guitarist. I'm like, I had been in a band in forever. I played guitar for the church. Because once I quit partying, I played guitar for a Baptist church for a while. And then I was running sound at Monte Carlo's, just trying to pay the rent, And I also built that job kind of around my kids. My kids were babies at the time, like toddlers. So anyway, they talked me into joining the Motley Crue tribute band, partially because I already had a Warlock and because they knew I could probably play the songs. So when I did that, I got a Dimebucker put in. That's a Dimebag Darrell pickup. But Motley Crue's got a loud, nasty sound. You need a loud, nasty pickup. And a Dimebucker is going to be a loud, nasty sound.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've torn up so many parts of this guitar and it's been rebuilt, dinged it on the wall, thrown it over my shoulder. I played so many shows with this guitar. And it's all just some cheap Indonesian plywood on sale at Guitar Center for $175. Oh, 25 years ago? Mm-hmm. But I kept adding parts and getting various guitar techs to work on it. Frank Weston worked on this one. Some of you guys know Frank. PJ's done work on this guitar. And so it's had different tremolos and different pickups and what have you, and different setups. But he told me to make sure I wasn't too loud. But we'll see what we get here, okay? So a little bit of Motley Crue for you. My band still does. We still do Red Hot. We sometimes do. I'm going to play a bunch of Motley Crue now. So a little bit of Motley Crue, but that's the oldest guitar I've got. Started out as a cheap Guitar Center Christmas special, and we just kept adding parts to it and kept working on it, getting techs to work on it. And man, I beat the shit out of this guitar. We played like a show a week for years in that Livewire band, the Motley Crue tribute band Livewire. We played American Airlines Center in that band. And yeah, I remember we played Dr. Feelgood. So my favorite album from Motley Crue's Shout at the Devil, which is why I have this guitar. And this blood here, so on stage I'll spit blood and blah. And so I made the blood out of strawberry like syrup for your pancakes. Strawberry syrup and red food coloring to make it darker. It's like at the beginning of the set. And the neck would get so sticky because it's syrup. I mean, you're not supposed to do this to a guitar neck, but I would take my hand and stick it in a pitcher of ice water because I would drink a bunch of water on stage because I don't drink alcohol. I'm just slinging water all over the neck. So yeah, I'm amazed this guitar still works at all. But I abused this guitar. It did a lot of work. But that's a remnant of the blood from around 2010, I guess. So whenever I have a tech work on, I'm like, listen, man, if you have to rub some of it off, that's fine. It's not that big a deal. But if you can keep from rubbing it off, just leave the blood on there. It's historical. So this is the oldest guitar I have in my possession still. I've had other guitars that have come and gone, but I've kept this guy around. Like I said, it has no financial value. It just has a lot of sentimental and historical value. And there's a Shaler Floyd on here and a Dimebucker, and it's been set up by the best guitar techs in town. And I just make sure it stays operational.
For sure.
So I just keep it around, man, and it still works.
We just need that kind of situation for the instrument. Don't matter if it's cheap or not. You need, sounds good, the tone is good, the heart, you connect with the instrument,
that's right.
And that's it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Back to beginning, right?
Yes, sir.
How you inspired to, okay, I want to play guitar.
Okay. We're going to have to go way, way back. So there were dinosaurs running around. Not really, but this would have been in the late 70s. So picture this at the time of 8 tracks. One of the things, a song that we play today, I would jump up and down in the bed to my parents' 8-track of Kiss Alive 2, Detroit Rock City. Yeah. I'll play that here in a minute, part of it anyways. I would jump up and down in the bed to Kiss Alive 2, and then Eddie Van Halen. Now everybody knows the Eruption solo. We're going to talk about some Eddie Van Halen here in a bit, you can tell, can't you? But the thing is, what really got me was, not where you really got me, but Ain't Talking About Love. So Terry, I'm going to grab a slightly, almost as old guitar. And this thing is almost completely parts built in Fort Worth, Texas. So this is the Green Ghost Flames I was telling you about earlier. And we call it a Fort Worth Charvel. Now, everybody knows that when you see a Fort Worth Charvel with that neck plate on the back that says Lancaster, we're on Lancaster right now. That's where Avalon is located. On Lancaster was the company that owned Charvel Jackson up until 2002. In 2002, they sold out to Fender. So this is a Fort Worth Charvel, but the thing is, I had the most Fort Worth Charvel on the planet. I'm going to tell you why. Give me 2 seconds. I bought an old Charvel. They had a Fort Worth neck plate. And it had a rosewood fretboard with the shark's teeth, right? Probably a Charvel Model 2 or something. It was black. But I had a buddy of mine source wood right down the street from Lancaster, source a couple of sticks of alder wood, and he CNC'd it right down the street off of Lancaster, a buddy of mine named Romeo Rondo. So this is wood bought on Lancaster in Fort Worth, CNC'd in Fort Worth. Then it was sent to Weatherford to get this paint job. And the guy that did the paint job was BSM Paintworks.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the most Fort Worth Charvel on the planet. More Fort Worth than any Charvel that has that Lancaster neck plate. Wow. Because when Charvel was stationed here at Lancaster, these parts were manufactured in Japan. And they would come here, and people like Jim Wright or people like Kevin Easton. Like I told you the story about Kevin Easton. I bought those signs from him that are in the front of my shop. He had like the giant wood Charvel sign and the giant wood Jackson sign. Anybody that's ever been to the studio has seen that. I bought those from Kevin Easton. And Kevin Easton actually did the stainless steel fretwork on my Eddie Van Halen guitar. But, you know, to me, Charvel, I play a lot of Charvels because it has a Fort Worth connection. It's part of home. And, you know, we all know that the parts weren't manufactured here, but people that you know personally on Facebook worked on those guitars. You know, they worked on these guitars. And so I wanted to build the most Fort Worth Charvel in the world.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm shocking, and I decided to listen.
Tell you what, I'm going to put this on standby so the cord doesn't go burp. So the cord doesn't make bad noises. Now I hope this thing's in tune. The jack is really, really tight. So let's see what we got out of this deal here. Okay. So, wow. That's my Fort Worth Charvel and a little bit of Eddie. You know, like I said, there's that Ain't Talking About Love. The thing, he had a lot more delay on it, but it's that whole, it's an arpeggiated A minor chord. Technically, that's a G. And I'll tell you something about Floyd Rose's. Now, Eddie Van Halen, his guitars are all, they're called what I call a slapback. Where like this, it's like up against the body of the guitar. Like you can't pull up on it. You can only go down. So like Eddie Van Halen, you'll never hear him go. You'll only hear him go. But Dimebag and Steve, they pull up. And you don't realize it, but Brad Gillis and Night Ranger, I just saw them last year at Billy Bob's. This guy, listen to Don't Tell Me You Love Me, but you'll hear this guy making what I call the cat noise. It sounds like a cat, right?
Yeah.
So Eddie Van Halen doesn't make the cat noise. It says, it only goes down. And there's a reason for that. Because if it's floating, so I used to have all my tremolos floating. And I would quote Pennywise, down here they all float. They all float down here, Jimmy. Look into my deadlights. So anyway, the thing is, it's real hard to keep these in tune. But if you slap them against the body, I always do my sling blade impression. I call it a slap back. It makes it to where it's easier to keep the guitar in tune. You can keep the guitar, you can change the tunings on the guitar. If I wanted to change the tuning on this guitar, it'd be a giant pain in the ass. But these two back here behind me, and for now, this is also a slap back. But I can change it based on a little piece I've got in the back called a trim stopper. So there's lots of little toys and things you can do to tweak on a guitar. But I definitely want to tell the story about the Fort Worth Charvel. We had to tell that story for sure. But we're going to move forward in history to the plague. We know the plague changed our lives, right?
Yeah.
It definitely changed your life.
Yeah,
You live in Texas now, don't you?
Yeah.
And where'd you come from?
I'm from Colombia.
There you go.
From Medellin. Yeah.
There you go. You came from Colombia, and it made you migrate to Texas looking for a better life. And I think that's the story of America. So a lot of people that are kind of bitching about immigrants and what have you, we're all fucking immigrants. Quit being a dick about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I'm going to go on to the next guitar, but I wanted to show you the Fort Worth Charvel. I'm going to hang this back up over here real fast. But. So we're talking about the plague, right?
Yeah.
So we're all sitting around at home. We can't work. We can't play shows. You know. Now, the thing is, you know, I came out of it better than a lot of people. I had triple unemployment from the IT gig. So I was actually making the same amount of money for a couple of months that I would have made otherwise. And with the people here at the Jam Rooms, I said, listen, guys, we've got to survive this together. We've got to be a group. We've got to be a team. We've got to be a family. Yeah. So if you can only afford to pay half your rent, only pay half your rent. I'll do that for a couple of months. And we expect things to get back to normal in a couple of months. And when things get back to normal, I want you to pay your rent plus 25%. So for the 2 months they did half rent, then they had to pay 25% rent for, I think it was 4 months, something like that, to make up the difference. Now, if you were so bad you couldn't even pay half your rent, man, it's a jam room. You've got more important shit to deal with. You've got your family. You've got your house. You got things that are more important than your jam room. But if you want to keep your jam room, I want to work with you to where you can keep your jam room. I also worked with the owners of the building to come up with some kind of plan. They offered me a deal where I could make things up, and I offered them the same deal in essence. But I wanted it to where our family and our team and our community survived together.
Yeah, for sure. It's
not, hey, screw you, man, because imagine if you're a landlord. It's kind of the same thing. And if all your renters, you go, oh, I don't care about my renters. Okay, what do you do when you don't have renters? You starve too. We're all in this together. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I reached out to people, and I only lost a couple of customers out of that whole thing. Most people did exactly that deal, and we all came out of it together. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, it's so many things came into play to keep this place alive. You know, like you said, for the community. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're sincerely act in good faith and make your best effort to treat people right, it usually comes back to you. Not always, but more often than not, it'll come back to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So during the plague, we're going through all this shit, right? So I'm in my garage learning how to paint guitars. So you'll remember right around that time, Eddie Van Halen died. So I built 7 guitars during COVID. And I sold 5 of them. 2 of them are still here. There's this one right here and that blue Stratocaster. So I ordered this body from Warmouth. And I painted a couple of guitars first. First, I painted like a cheap Temu guitar that my wife got me for Christmas. And, you know, I knew it was a cheap guitar. I didn't care. So if I made a mistake on it, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But I painted an Eddie Van Halen guitar. And the thing's like, I couldn't figure out what I was going to do with this dumb guitar. Like, okay, now I've got it. What am I going to do with it? Well, this kid's house burnt down. And he was a guitar player. It's like, okay, that's a good place for this guitar to go. So I gave him the guitar. And the thing is, a buddy of mine sent me a picture of the kid playing the guitar, smoking a cigarette. Oh. And a dark part of my personality said, why did your fucking house burn down? I know that wasn't really. It's a dark sense of humor, and it comes out at the most inopportune times. But I mean, he told me that I could cut stuff out. We're not going to cut anything out. If I tell a horrible joke, I'm going to own it. I'm going to take responsibility for it. So, but anyway, so the last couple of guitars, this right here, I ordered the neck specifically from Warmouth to be a wizard profile, just like an Ibanez RG series.
Yeah.
So you pay a little bit extra to have it like just a millimeter thinner than a standard thin. Mm-hmm. And I had jumbo stainless steel frets put on it. Mm-hmm. I want this guitar to be just everything to be perfect, you know. Yeah. And I ordered the body. And so when I did the paint, that is a ruby red metallic. Mm-hmm. So when Eddie Van Halen painted his guitar, it started as a black guitar. He put stripes on it and painted white over the black, right? Mm-hmm. It's very hard to paint white over black, you know, because you know, black is dark, white's white. Yeah. So you've got to make that white really thick. So this is a metallic black, nice and sparkly, and then I did a pearl white over that. Then I did a ruby red metallic over that. And, you know, I actually had a couple of times, and, you know, actually the problem happened on that Green Ghost Flames as well. The wood, it was just a pure wood body, and it's not sealed well, it'll try to drink the paint. Mm-hmm. So see, you can still see a little bit of wood grain in here. So the wood drank the paint a little bit, but I mean, not bad for a guy screwing around in his garage during the plague, you know? Yeah. And so this guitar here is set up as a slapback. Mm-hmm. It's a slapback. I call it a slapback. Now it's a nod to history here. You'll notice this pickup, how it's in there kind of sideways. Mm-hmm. When Eddie Van Halen chiseled out that Strat, that Frankenstein, he chiseled it out that wood. It looks all gnarly, so he could turn the pickup sideways because he wanted it had a Floyd Rose tremolo, and the old pickups at the time wouldn't line up with the strings, or the strings would line up with the pickup. So he was tilting the pickup to make it line up. Uh-huh. And when Kramer's came out with guitars with Floyd Rose, they slanted so I call it a Kramer slant. Mm-hmm. Now later on they started making S-space pickups, and they quit doing this. Yeah. But I specifically bought a standard space pickup so I could do the Kramer slant in honor of history.
Oh, wow.
So, and a single volume knob. And the thing is, this was such a fast volume knob, I had to put a plumbing washer in here, like between the knob and the body, to slow it down. Because I would like bump my hand on it thinking I was going to turn my guitar down while I was doing all of this. So, and then a buddy of mine told me I had to paint the headstock. So you'll notice that's my Avalon logo on the headstock.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, and like I said, this is the one that Kevin Easton really did up the stainless steel frets for me. I'll play a little bit on this, but I mean, once you've heard my nonsense on guitar, you've heard it all. But let's see, I got that right there. Boom. Make sure it's actually turned down. Take it off standby.
I'm a rocky.
So you'll notice that I can't pull up on it because it's a slapback. Now, Eddie Van Halen didn't invent this, but he sure as hell bought the patent the minute he saw it. Mm-hmm. So if you take this guy here and pull it out, now see all the guys when the grunge came out in the 90s. So it's got an Eddie Van Halen D-tuner, and really I think you need to have a slapback to get away with that, because once you change the tension on that string, it's changing the tension on the springs.
Yeah.
So I put the D-tuner on this thing because it made sense. Right on. And so this is one of the last guitars I built out of the 7 guitars that I built during the plague.
Yeah.
But there's a picture of me from when I was 15 years old. And you know, I've got a mullet. And I'm wearing a blue Coca-Cola shirt. This would have been around 1985. I wish I could find this picture. But so I'll tell you what, I'll show you the Strat. And none of these paint jobs really came out perfect, but they came out pretty good. Like when you're looking at it from back here, it looks pretty cool. And you know, people that see this on stage don't know every little imperfection in it.
Yeah.
And I may show you one more before we go. But this right here, when I was a kid in 1985, my mom got me for Christmas a blue Fender Stratocaster. It was royal blue with some metal flake, and it had a white pick guard, and it had a maple neck. And I never see Stratocasters with exactly that configuration since that 1985. It's always got like a rosewood neck, or it's some kind of funky blue, or something stupid, or a black pick guard. There's always something. They never quite get exactly what I wanted. I wanted blue, white, chrome, maple. Yeah. So I built this guitar. This is another Warmoth neck with jumbo frets, and this is a standard thin profile.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's only a millimeter of difference between this and the Wizard.
Yeah.
I paid the extra $20 to have the Wizard, right? So, and then I got a custom pick guard made, but this right here is my paint job. So this is a metallic royal blue, and then I don't know if the light can catch it, but there's also a color shift clear coat where it shifts colors on how it shines. And so I kept this on the back. This is actually a German Floyd, and I did titanium screws, but the custom pick guard is from Dragonfire Pickups. And I'm gonna go ahead and, I got special custom neck plates on this. You see, it's kind of like a hot rod. You got the Hoochie Coochie Girl, and it says custom shop, so yeah. And I've actually got the No Bozos neck plate on that one, so. Just tweaking them out, man. And so this was these are the 2 guitars I did not sell when I sold all those Plague guitars that I built. And, you know, I'll play a couple of riffs on this, but I mean, you know, I have a real tendency, like this guitar and the Green Ghost Flames and the Eddie Van Halen, they all have Seymour Duncan JBTB pickups because you can pull back on them and they'll clean up pretty nice. They get a good dirty tone, so they can be dirty, they can be clean, but they're not too dirty. Yeah. Like that Dimebucker on that Warlock is real dirty. It doesn't clean up all that great. It's a one-trick pony. It's nasty. That's the one trick it does is be nasty. Yeah, but if you need to be a little bit versatile, and I don't do a lot of pedals or weird shit on stage, I do exactly this. I plug directly into a amp, a Marshall type tube amp with EL34s. I do not do pedals and jack around with all that. I don't have time to think about that shit. You've got a 15-minute set change on stage, and you're wondering why your guitar sounds like dog shit, and there's 10 different suspects on the floor. You don't know which thing makes your guitar sound like shit. Okay, there's only 3 things that could possibly make my guitar sound like shit, and I'm probably the best suspect. So that's going to make it a lot faster on troubleshooting. 3 things compared to 13 things. I just don't have the patience for all that. And plus, I mean, all the stuff that we're playing, it's 80s straight ahead rock and roll. We're not doing a lot of funky choruses and effects and delays. It's just crank that shit and go. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'll give this Strat a little bit of cranking here, and I'll try to clean this up just a little bit. I've actually got a neck pickup here. Lee's out of tune. But anyway, you get the idea, man. So
Yeah, but sounds beautiful. The tone is really, really nice.
that's the Strat, the recreation of the Strat from when I was 15. With a JBTB and a German Floyd. It's got the brass block. And because that brass block, it kind of makes it a slapback. That wasn't my original plan. But now I can have this thing in any tuning I want. And I can't believe even... There you go.
Yeah.
So that's my Strat. That's my special Strat from when I was 15. I mean, it's way better than the Strat from when I was 15, but it's that royal blue flake and the white and the maple and the chrome. You know, because I mean, a lot of people, it's just like with my truck. Everyone like takes their 4Runner and blacks it out. Like they make everything black wheels and black bumpers and black this. My truck's all chrome and blue. So it's probably just an 80s taste, given my age. I mean, I think whatever was cool when you were in high school, that's kind of what you decided is cool. So yeah, the Strat from when I was 15, I decided that's what was cool was. Yeah, that's what cool was.
Thank you, Jim, for sharing your stories about that. Those guitars are amazing. They are so special. Well, I want to ask you about your technique. When you get classes when you were young?
Yes.
Okay, but your technique. When I researched your Instagram, I saw some videos you playing, and wow, his technique is really,
I know where you're
really
going.
strange. Yeah, because you use 2 fingers, the most part of the
And
time.
a lot of tapping and a lot of whammy.
Yeah.
And a lot of writing it. Well, okay, so if you look right here, you see a scar there? There's a round scar on my back here. So I guess I'm glad we get to tell this story because it actually has something to do with faith. You know, we've covered on faith and working together and really just positive things that make your life better, not just better as a guitarist, but better as a human being. You know, coming from Colombia, you may have been exposed to Catholicism, I suspect. Around here, it's usually the Southern Baptist Church, but it's all the same, really. I mean, some people would lose their shit if they heard me say that. But so here's the deal. I was 16 years old, and I was among the first people that they tried Ritalin on. If you've heard of attention deficit disorder, you may have discovered I have ADD. You know, so the thing is, so the teachers thought that I was a pain in the ass, but highly intelligent, blah, blah, blah. And so they said, well, this is what we were trying to do with people that have ADD. We're giving them this stuff called Ritalin. And basically the idea was, we're going to give a teenage boy speed and see if it improves his fucking attitude. I did not have good results with that. So actually, associated with that, I actually stayed up all night and I went to a concert, and then I went and worked all day the next day. And then I was going to go home and go to bed. And a smart person would have done that. My girlfriend called and asked if I was coming out. So I'm on my way home from all of that, and I fell asleep while I was driving. Cruise control set on 55, going down 157. And so, you know, I don't know what I thought was going to happen, or I probably wasn't thinking at all, but the car hit a ditch, went, you know, trying to maintain 55 on grass. I pop up, and basically the top pole of a chain link fence came through the windshield, through me, through the front seat, the back seat, and poked the tail light out of the trunk. So I'm sitting there in the car, impaled, so to speak, and I'm trying to honk SOS on the horn, SOS on the lights. I mean, it's the middle of the night. It probably doesn't look like there's anything going on with my car, because I see cars passing behind me. Yeah, but it probably doesn't look like anything particularly bad's going on with my car, so why would anybody stop? So I really just figured I was done. And, you know, because the pole had broken a rib, that had punctured my lung. And so when I breathe, air would come out of the blood. Yeah. You know, and so, I mean, any reasonable person would assume they're going to die. And of course, when you're about to die, you make all the promises to God. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, I'll never do drugs again. Oh, God, I'll be a good boy. Oh, God, please don't let me die. And I really thought that, I mean, it's too late for oh, God shit at this point. You're done. Goodbye. And so I said, okay. And I closed my eyes. And I figured, well, I'm just going to go to sleep. And I couldn't get comfortable. I could not get comfortable and die, unfortunately. But then sometime later, there was a guy outside the window. He goes, are you okay? I said, yeah, now that you're here. Because I knew somebody's going to work on getting help. Now, this guy had a brick phone back in 1989. Which, I mean, maybe 1% of people had a freaking brick phone back in 1989. He had a brick phone. And just happened to come back from doing his taxes. And what was so funny about that, the concert that I went to, I had taken his son to that concert the night before. It was Halloween, Anthrax, and Exodus, the Headbangers Ball Tour back in '89.
Wow.
So I know people don't want to hear about spooky bullshit. People don't want to hear about God. They don't want to hear about Jesus. They don't want to hear about the devil. All I can tell you is something is fucking going on in addition to the temporal plane. And I don't know about the angry guy in the sky that gets angry and you masturbate. I don't know about that shit. But I believe there's something going on in addition to the temporal plane. And maybe don't be a dick. Maybe what you do matters. You know, not that I'm a fucking saint. Trust me. I can introduce you to an army of people that will tell you I'm not a saint. I try not to screw people on business deals. I try to be honest. I try to help people when I can. I try to not be a piece of shit. Yeah. I'm not always successful. But I'm telling you, I have, you know how they talked about Thomas, the doubting Thomas? You know, his faith wasn't that great because he had to touch the scars on Christ's hands to make sure he wasn't a ghost. Because if he was just a ghost, that means something completely different than he died and came back, right? Yeah. We owe doubting Thomas a debt because he had to come up and have evidence and touch the holes in Christ's hands. Because Thomas wasn't just going to believe jack shit on just faith. So I had to have some kind of evidence presented to me because people that know me personally in my life know that I don't take anything on faith. I need evidence, I need facts, I need science, I need numbers. And that served me very well in business. But I will say, and I say this to everyone, if I ever get in this kind of conversation, and you kind of gave me the segue for that conversation, you know what I mean? That I believe that something is going on in addition to the temporal plane. I believe that. Do I believe there's an old man in the sky that gets angry every time I masturbate? I don't believe that necessarily, because he'd be angry so often. I mean, he really has better shit to do, don't you think? Don't you think God has better shit to do than be concerned with that? You know what I mean?
Just look at you, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm so tired of seeing midget porn, you sick fuck.
Yeah, just start to pray or play the guitar or whatever. No, he's...
So, I mean, I've got a lot of jokes tied in there, but I'm using humor to point out something real. It absolutely happened to me. It's absolutely documented. I mean, I'm still wearing the scars from it. It affects the way I play, but I think I'll whoop most people's ass on guitar, wreck or no wreck. You know, it comes down to determination and work. That's what everything comes down to. You know, and it's what you choose to put your time and effort into. You know, you put your time and effort into your kids, they're gonna show it. And you put time and effort into your job. You put time and effort into your dreams. We're sitting in the middle of my dream right now.
For sure. Yeah, that's amazing story because, some people just let the frustration get them, right? And you decide to, no, I will keep playing guitar with my
I was already addicted
tools.
at that point. If I had any brains, I would have just been a drummer. But I mean, I had that blue Stratocaster, as a matter of fact, during that time. Because I got it when I was 15. And this would have happened in April of when I was 16. So I still had the blue Stratocaster at that time. So this is kind of a remembrance of that era. You know what I mean? But I mean, way better pickups and hardware. But yeah, man, and a lot of people, I think they don't even notice that I play guitar weird because what they hear sounds normal, and that's all I care about. But if they look at my hand, and really only other guitarists, regular people don't think anything of it, but other guitarists like, what the hell are you doing over there? But you'll notice it's a lot of tapping and whammy and bullshit that looks like I'm doing something because I'm using the open strings on the neck. You know what I mean? Like. So, I mean, if you want it, I mean, any of your shit, I mean, if you want to be a guitarist, if you want to own a business, if you want to start a podcasting business, you're going to demonstrate how much effort you put into that. And, by your fruits are you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Jim,
thank you
for having me, dude. I didn't know we were going to get all metaphysical and shit. Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you, what is your favorite album ever?
God, that's really tough. Okay, off the top of my head, and it's kind of cheating because it's a live album with their greatest hits, but Iron Maiden Live After Death might be it. Oh. It's got to be in top 5. There's some Halloween albums I could throw out there. Van Halen, the early Van Halen with David Lee Roth. You could throw the Iron Maiden right in that era of Peace of Mind and Power Slave, Motley Crue's first 2 albums. So it's really hard. I mean, all of that kind of gets poured into who you are. So, I mean, I'm going to cheat and pick Iron Maiden's double live album, Live After Death. That's I guess that's an easier one.
Yeah. And what album do you recommend for guitarists for, hey, listen to this album because the job on the guitars, it's really nice. It's something you need to listen.
If you want to be intimidated, go listen to Steve Vai, Passion and Warfare.
For sure. For sure. He's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
Crossroads was a big part of my deciding who I was going to grow up to be. I've got a karate sensei. I also take karate, but he decided who he was going to be when he grew up based on Karate Kid. I decided who I was going to be when I grew up based on Crossroads. We both love a couple of Ralph Macchio movies, so yeah.
Well, can we talk about Avalon rehearsals? Sure. How start your project about the studio and the Avalon rehearsals?
Yeah, I actually put on my website, I've always been fascinated about where art and technology intersect. And so this place started as a mobile recording studio back around 2001. There was actually a band that came and recorded the band I was in. I was a singer, and I really have no business being a singer for a band, but I was filling in a singer for this band called Rug Burn. And the rehearsal studio was right down the street on Erie, right off of Lancaster. It was called Kane Rehearsals. The legend is he snorted up his rehearsal studios. But we were jamming there at the time, and this guy came in with a board and a reel-to-reel and recorded our album in the jam room. Well, so right around that time, all the digital stuff was coming out. So I got the digital stuff. I got a Fostex VF16 and a bunch of microphones, a bunch of stands, a bunch of cables. And I would go make people's album in their jam room or in their living room. Yeah. And it was a mobile recording studio. And so my thing was, it said, we bring the studio to you. So when I saw you unloading all this gear, it kind of brought back memories. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I looked at that. I was like, yeah, I remember lugging a bunch of shit to all over the place. I remember that. So the thing is, that kind of everything I do always kind of leads into some other crazy thing, because that kind of led me into. I was supposed to run sound for a band at a club called Monte Carlo's. Now, a lot of people, if you guys know anything about me, if you've seen me before. I got there, and the owner was an Albanian guy, and so the I stopped by to see what was going on because they didn't have a sound guy that night. But I wanted to go see what the other sound guy was doing. Just curious. So I get there, and there's no sound guy there, and the band there is pissed. And so the things, I didn't have my gear with me. I couldn't do anything to solve that situation. I told them, I said, listen, man, if they can't get a fucking sound guy in here, if they won't do it, I will. And the owner, it's almost like the owner and also God heard me and said, you asked for it. The night I met my wife was kind of I was on stage. I said, I'm not going to be up for this shit when I'm 40. I'm actually 53 now. But I mean, the thing was the being single. And you get off stage and everybody buys you a drink. You take home some random girl. I was like, man, I'm not going to be up for this shit when I'm 40. I was 25 at the time. And it was another situation where God was like, you asked for it. And that's the night I met my wife. Yeah, at a Hangar 18 show. So anyway, so God heard me ask for it. And I ended up running sound at Monte Carlo's for the next 3 years. And it was everything I've ever started, the jam rooms, the recording studio, the mobile recording, the running Monte Carlo's, has always started as a giant mess. You talked about having issues, technical issues or equipment issues, working with Lou. And Lou's a cool guy. Lou was actually there at Monte Carlo's when I ran the first New Year's at Monte Carlo's. And we didn't have monitors at the time. And I got up there and sang Old Lang Syne with no monitors. Couldn't even hear what the hell I was doing, so it probably sounded like dog shit. But with Lou's band that was called Coilback even back then. So I ended up doing Monte Carlo's for 3 years. Now, during Monte Carlo's, I met every band in town running sound for them. Then I was like, man, I really want a place to put all this mobile recording shit. And if I just had 5 jam rooms that would just pay for the recording studio, I just want to break even. I don't even give a shit. Fine. And so I built about less than 10 jam rooms, maybe 8 jam rooms. And the thing is, I kept putting my mobile recording stuff into a jam room, and then people kept renting the jam room. I kept getting kicked out of my jam room, so to speak, because they were just going to pay the rent on it without me doing anything, other than fixing stuff. And then finally I built a recording studio. Like, okay, this is my recording studio. No one's kicking me out of here. And that was right next door. That's the old recording studio. It's actually a really big jam room now. And so we've had this recording studio here since, I think, 2012. So we started doing jam rooms in 2005. And this has been going on like this since 2012. And I had a business partner. He actually built all these walls. But like all the gear and all the tech and all the engineering, that's me. But there was a guy that was a genius builder. His name was Christian. And he was here for 5 years. He's off. He actually has a business where he delivers dogs. Like somebody buys a dog from a breeder, say in Kentucky. Hey, they got new German Shepherd puppies. I want the best pick of the German Shepherd puppies. I want you to deliver that German Shepherd to Texas. He'll go get that puppy and drive the puppy to Texas for whatever that costs, a couple $100, I guess. So he delivers dogs from the breeder to the purchaser. Brilliant idea, genius. And they're paying for his rental car, they're paying for his hotel, paying for his food, and he's got ultimate freedom. He doesn't have anybody yelling at him. He's just hanging out with a dog. Not a bad idea at all, but he was a badass construction guy. And he, like I said, he built these walls.
Wow. Yes, it's really huge. Because, well, I'm from Colombia, and I remember the jam rooms are really.
We've got some small rooms. This is the recording studio. Jam rooms are like 12 by 16, and 10 by 20.
All of us playing in.
Well, the cheap ones are small. The big ones cost more.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, how you involved about production? Because, well, right now we are on the point you can learn everything on YouTube by internet, right?
Sure.
But how was your process?
Well, at the time, there wasn't as much stuff on the internet back in 2001. I went and got my buddies and said, hey, I'm going to record your band. And it sounded like shit. And then the next one didn't. And the next customer was a paying customer. So you had a guinea pig. And, it's somebody that you were already friends with, and you knew that you were going to get your mistakes knocked out with your friend. Mm-hmm. You weren't going to charge them any money, and they were going to give you some mercy and some forbearance and some forgiveness for it not turning out as well as you would like. Because what I did was I ran stuff too hot. I redlined stuff. And when you redline in digital, it makes a bunch of crackling. Now, in that beginning time, I was reading every book I could find in the Fort Worth Library about audio engineering.
Wow.
Now, and like I said, years later, I don't know, 15, 20 years later, Alan Parsons has a whole course called The Art and Science of Sound. I now have a certificate from Alan Parsons. The whole thing of videos was narrated by Billy Bob Thornton. Here we're in Sling Blade. Billy Bob Thornton has this very smooth, mellow voice, and he's narrating this whole instruction on audio engineering. And also, I got a certificate from Berkeley, Boston.
Yeah.
And it was a music school. And so we've got a lot more education available now, but we didn't have that back in the day. So you really had to go, pardon the term, you had to go fuck shit up and then go fix it. Back when I was a boy, we didn't have all these fancy internet learnings. You had to go figure it out, man. It was tough, but it was fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Your story about the keep doing, keep playing, keep focus on music, right? I just get it the way you played. You played with love, with passion. You kick the guitar like, hey, I want to get fun just with this guitar, and the motion you played. I really enjoyed that. It's a lot emotional for me. Look, just meet a person who get an accident and keep the music in his life, not just listen, just creating. And this podcast is for that kind of people.
Yeah.
They can keep playing, they can keep creating, right? I'm thinking the rock right now, the rock, metal, jazz, blues are not streaming right now, but I start to think the rock music, the metal music will going to get the top again.
I would love that.
For some reason, because I have a lot of influences for South America, right? Right now, reggaeton music, it's really popular, right? But you look their concerts and they have all the band. It's not just the DJ.
Yeah.
They play with musicians, right?
That's right.
And the guitarists for reggaeton music, they are so amazing. They have different techniques, and it's really, really nice and sounds like a rock band, right? And how I told you, I really love to listen the stories behind the guitars, right? Because my hobby was went to the guitar center and just look the guitars, but yes, it's really nice, but
I do that all the time.
yeah, but it's brand new. It's nothing special, but
Yeah.
I guess oh no, my guitar, I built this guitar, or my challenges for get my first guitar because I'm left-handed, or Lou, when we talk about his Les Paul,
Yeah.
and I connect with that guitar because when Gibson launched it, it was so different, and I connect with them. But it's really nice the way the guitarists connect or the bass player connect, because we can't have just one guitar. We need more and more. And
I seem to hover around 15 or so. I had a hard time picking, say, 4. You know what I mean? I think I picked a pretty good 4, but I have nicer, more expensive guitars, but the ones I brought definitely had a story to them. You know what I mean? There had to be something, because I've got a USA Candy Blue that's beautiful. It's a beautiful guitar.
yeah.
But I didn't do anything to it because I don't want to mess up the resale value. So if you take something like this, the Guitar Center Special, and put 50 different parts on it and beat the shit out of it, that guitar's had a lot more life put into it, you know?
Yeah,
So,
the connection. I have my first guitar ever.
Yeah.
And my parents give it to me, and the connection I have with this guitar, it's because I learned on this guitar, and I understand the connection, but I don't live that kind of connection that build a guitar. I want to do that. So on some point of my life, I want to build a guitar.
Think about the Jedi. You've got to build your own lightsaber, man.
Well, Jim, if the people want to contact you, where you have social media to...
Jim Wright Avalon on everything. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's not Twitter anymore; it's X. But I'm on everything. Jim Wright Avalon, and if you just type Jim Wright Avalon or Avalon Rehearsal, if you type that into a search engine, I've spent a lot of money to make sure I'm very easy to find. I've told people like, "What, you want to beat me up? Sounds like I'm hiding, man. I'm easy to find. Come on, man."
Yeah, I want to say thank you again to being here, to accept this invitation for Guitar Memories. I really enjoy your story, the way you express yourself, the way you express with the instrument. It's really, you are really funny. You are really kind. Thank you for opening this place for create the podcast for your episode. And that's it. I hope I see you again. Maybe to do studio touring.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you talk about how I'm fun or funny or something. You can imagine how pissed off my teachers were, right? They wanted to put me on drugs apparently. And like I said, my daughter has attention deficit disorder is what they call it. But I think really the ADD can actually mean laser focus. I'm just not paying attention to the shit you want me to pay attention to. You know what I mean? I almost think the whole education system is designed like an obedience school. Maybe I wasn't good at being obedient and I wasn't going to be a good factory worker. So my teachers were tired of my bullshit. So I had to find somewhere where I could get away with acting like this and not be punished for it constantly. You've got to figure out where you fit, like measuring a fish's ability to climb a tree. You know what I mean? I think it was Einstein that said that our public education system measures the ability of a fish to climb a tree. So anyway, I found something that worked, I think.
Well, thank you again, James, for being here. And thank you for Avalon Rehearsals to open their doors for us, for Guitar Memories.
Welcome. Bienvenidos.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Subscribe, keep playing, leave the comments, and share this episode with your friends. See ya. Keep playing.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.